One of the most interesting things we're seeing in Europe now is, of course, the huge changes in the media. We've gone in, less than a couple of decades from a situation where most people were watching just a few channels and reading newspapers, to a situation where very, very few people, and especially young people, read newspapers, and most people are watching a huge range of channels, or at least have access to a huge range of channels, and young people aren't actually watching broadcast television very much at all now. Young people get a great deal of their news from the net. Now that sometimes might mean them reading newspapers online, but for a great many young people, that means things coming into their news feed on Facebook, or perhaps Twitter as well, or Reddit. And the implications of that for politics are, I think, very interesting. It's going to be more and more difficult, I think, for politicians to communicate with large numbers of people in sound bites that will, if you like, cross demographic groups. They're going to have to tailor their message very carefully, I think, to particular groups, and tailor them to particular platforms and channels. There are all sorts of debates in the academic literature as well about whether watching or not watching media encourages or discourages participation in politics. It used to be impossible, if you like, to tune politics out of your life if you watched any kind of television at all. Nowadays, with the rise of the net and the rise, if you like, of filter bubbles, it's perfectly possible for people not only to tune out politics, but also maybe to just tune into the politics that they themselves are interested in. Is that good for democracy? It's going to be difficult to tell. Is that going to mean that people prefer to do their politics online and therefore prefer not to vote or attend demonstrations? Or is there a kind of complementarity? In other words, can online participation encourage offline participation? There seems to be some evidence of the latter, particularly for young people. But I think we're at the very early stages in some ways of seeing what the web is going to do to politics. Some people think it will kind of blow it all out of the water. Some people think that politics will adjust to the web, and that's something that the book discusses.